All right. Welcome to Miriam's Place, where art is healing. It's second Tuesday art night, and we are here with Leslie Kyte to share her kites that she made and brought for us to show here at Miriam's Place. We are the show starts now, so if you want to join and see these kites in person and visit with the artist, now is a great time to come down. It's a free event. We're at 1519 East Boulder Street. And really quick, before we start the runaround, we're going to introduce you to Leslie. Leslie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a retired nurse. I moved to Colorado Springs right after I retired about 15 years ago. Yeah. And since then, I have been spending a lot of time working on my artwork, which has always been a hobby. I got a couple years ago, I just got interested in learning how to make prints. I had been a painter mostly. And I have just found the processes of simple printing techniques that I can do at home really fascinating. And then I got the idea to try and make some of them into kites. So that's what I've been doing. I learned how to make simple Japanese style kites about a year and a half ago. And so that's what I've been doing.
All right, so let's get started. Now, not everything we see tonight will be a kite, but most of what you see tonight will be a kite. So we're going to start on this wall right here. Oh, yeah. And this is amazing kite, because there's amaze in it.
My grandson named it.
I love it. It's and I like the colors. They're like soft, but they're still very bold. I bet that if it was flying in the air, it'd be a really amazing one. All right, now we've got this one here.
Oh, the Tai Chi with
It's called Life's Dance.
Leela's
Dance. Sorry,
yeah,
I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, and what I can say about this one is that it incorporates the Chinese characters, which are called kanji.
Right.
Two Chinese characters, one for form and one for emptiness. So the idea is that form and emptiness are always in an eternal dance. And then when I was trying to figure out what the title should be, I learned that the Sanskrit word for that dance of form and emptiness is Leela.
Okay.
So I named it Leela's Dance. And also you mentioned something about flying this kite.
Yeah.
And I just want to say here that although these kites are made with traditional Japanese kite paper and bamboo spars and traditional designs, I have not made them intending that you could fly them outside.
Right. They're not fully rigged up.
Right. And that was one of the reasons. If they were really rigged with the bridle lines, they would have all these strings hanging out in front. And I wasn't going for that look, although I might change my mind. So, and also you wouldn't want them to get wet, the paper. The paper is really strong as long as it's dry, but if it gets wet, too wet, it starts to dissolve.
Oh, wow. All right, so here we've got another one. God's Eye, golden. All right.
And what I'll say about this is that these two characters, which are ancient Chinese characters that you see, like if you see like a Chinese picture and it's got little red symbols in the corner, that's like ancient Chinese. They call it seal script. It was used for seals, where the artist would put the seal that designated him as the artist, and also maybe some kind of a message in another seal. So anyway, this one means something along the lines of pay attention or wake up.
Oh, nice. Oh, here's a really cool one. This is called Red Spotted Tiger Kite.
Yes. And that is simply a butterfly because one of my sons wanted me to make some butterfly kites, and I just worked on it until I found a kite shape and a design that I liked.
All right. Now, are some of these kite shapes, are they traditional to the Japanese style?
Yes. This one here, the kimono, I would think of it as a kimono,
Yeah.
is called a sode. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's called a sode taco, which means taco means kite,
Mhm.
and sode means fisherman's coat.
Okay.
And I have a book with a whole bunch of different traditional kite designs and a little blurb on each one about what region they come from and who they represent, what group of people they would represent. Because the Japanese, I think, are great for kite festivals and people getting together with the kites that represent their community or their interests or whatever they do. Yeah, so these three are all, well, all of the ones I've made are traditional
Okay.
designs, yeah.
And tell me about this print.
Okay, so Leslie, may I ask you a question? Would you mind if I took a picture of a couple?
Oh, go for it, sure.
Because your colors combinations
Yes.
really inspire me
Oh,
too.
wonderful, good, yes, do it.
So there we go. Thank you.
Tell me about this print.
Okay, so this one is called Rodolfo. And I made it a way I don't usually work, but I think I'll do more. I used it on what's called a jelly plate,
Oh,
and it's made with acrylic paint
Okay.
instead of more typical printmaking inks. And the reason it's called Rodolfo is that I made it when I was listening to the Saturday opera on KCME,
okay.
the classical, the local classical community-supported radio station, and they were performing La Boheme.
Oh.
So Mimi is the lovely young heroine, and Rodolfo is the man who loves her, and she is dying. And in the last act, she is dying, and they are singing this beautiful duet together that is so moving. I made a painting of Mimi, but that one I kept because I can't part with it. And this is Rodolfo.
Nice. It's beautiful. I just love the colors.
I didn't see.
All right, let's go around the corner. Let's start down here and then we'll make our way up. That kind of looks like a spider, but
Oh,
this
yeah,
is before
it
the
does.
bud.
Before the bud. So this one I made for a really interesting class that I took at Bemis Fine Arts School a
Mhm.
couple years ago. It was a class about making imagery from the tarot deck. And before the bud, I don't even remember because I don't know much about tarot at all, but it must have been a card that had to do with beginnings of things or origins, because yeah, it kind of looks like a spider, but to me it looks maybe like a chrysalis while the butterfly is still developing, or some kind of a seed that is growing
Right.
and not ready to blossom yet. So a lot of times my titles just kind of come to me.
Okay.
So that's all I can say about that one.
Okay. This one is called By Means of the Wind, which is the title of the show.
And this one is just a monotype, which means that I took my inks and put them on a little piece of plexiglass and swirled them around. I might have had some, I don't know what, like a Q-tip or some other little things to scratch into it. And when I had my inks the way I like them, I just put a piece of paper down, pressed on the back, and that made my print. So that's called a monotype, mono meaning one, because you only make one. That's it.
That's it.
Mhm.
So every one you do is like one of a kind.
Yes. Some of these other things have carved templates, so I could apply ink again and make another very similar one, like that butterfly there. I could make another one similar to that.
Okay.
But monotypes, that means just one of a kind.
That's pretty cool. All right, and this.
And this one, this character is also a Chinese character. It means the creative void. And this character I carved from a linoleum block.
Okay.
So I could, I could make another one similar to that or different color or whatever. Yeah.
All right. Dragon makes the rounds.
Yeah. So there's two different techniques going on here.
Mhm.
The back, the faint lined grid work here, that is a dry point etching where I etched the lines into a piece of plexiglass and then rubbed ink into them. Got my piece of paper wet so it would pick up the ink out of those grooves, pressed it, and then that's how this grid work was formed. And then I came back later because I like to do calligraphy and with Japanese ink and brushes, and I just made this kind of dragon guy.
Nice.
Yeah, and I do want to mention here.
And I see that you've got here and here you've got the.
Yeah.
Now, do they say the same thing?
Nope. This one I bought from an Oriental art supply place, and it means joy. And that one is my signature,
Okay.
supposedly.
Well,
I ordered it and I asked them to make me one that was uniquely for me, and that's what I got.
all right then. I mean, it's very cool. All right, and then let's not forget this.
Oh, yeah.
this
And
one.
I did want to say that I will be here from 11 to 1 on the next 3 Saturday
That's
mornings in September.
So you're not relegated to one day. You can come this weekend and the following weekends till September, till
Through
October.
September. Yeah.
To
Three more opportunities, and I have set up a little display of some of the basics of these different printmaking techniques that you can do in your own spare bedroom studio.
nice.
Because I like to show people what I do.
All right, tell me about this kite.
Okay, well, this is one of the first ones I ever made. The hexagonal part.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought it over without any tails or anything on it, and it looked like it needed something.
Okay.
And so I went home and found that I had 2 pieces of yellow paper that went right there. And I also had a snaky piece of red. And so I had this kind of feeling that I needed to, I often get these little intuitions. So I had a little intuition that I needed to look in my little set of Tibetan mandalas, little set of postcards of Tibetan mandalas. And I was really glad that I looked there, because what I found is that a lot of those mandalas are mostly geometrical shapes.
Yeah.
But then along the borders, they will have these beautiful swirling ribbons and garlands. So the red is like the ribbons. And I can't tell you what that signifies, but I thought it looked really good.
It does look really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Then we've got this one. This one is soaring, and it's got birds on it. And it's also got another.
Yes. And this one, I bought this from an Oriental, it actually is called Oriental Art Supply.
Mm-hmm.
And it means soaring, as in flying.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's probably all I have to say about that.
Oh, but it's still pretty cool. All right. This one is called Practicing Eternity.
Yes. That is a phrase from the Book of the Tao, Stephen Mitchell's translation, which is a contemporary translation that is really awesome. He's an amazing translator. And I'll see if I can remember. I think the phrase is, let me see. Find your own light and return to the source of light. This is called practicing eternity.
Oh, nice.
So I started out here with a couple of Chinese characters. This, you can't really tell now, but this one here, this outer part is a gate or a portal.
Okay.
And this one in here that's been kind of transformed into other things, I believe it was the character for listen, but I don't really remember.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's new for me, trying to work with a scroll format, and it was really fun. I liked it, except that you have to make sure everything lines up properly.
Oh, right.
That's the hard part.
All
Or
right.
you have to try.
This one looks pretty cool. As Spirit Moves and Sumi ink. What's that?
Sumi ink is, well, some people might call it India ink, Chinese ink, but Sumi ink would be the Japanese for that. It's just black ink that's made from carbon, and I don't know what else is mixed into it to give it the proper consistency. But before I started doing these things, I did a lot of Japanese calligraphy, practiced, and so I have those materials on hand. And my idea with this was that I wanted a big bird on a kite, but I didn't want it to be solid. I wanted to make it feel really light and air, but still be a bird.
Right.
So
Well,
that's
it's obviously a bird, but it looks like it's in flight, like it's already gone. Oh, right. Oh, my love language.
well, my mind is full of funny little shapes like that. You'll see more of them around the corner. That's about all I can say about that one.
I love experimenting.
Exactly what they mean, I don't know. See, here's more funny little shapes down here. And I'm gonna get a drink of water.
Okay. So this one's called Warm Belly Breath. And this is called The Pollinators.
Yes.
And this one's called House of Rage. That one kind of looks really sad.
So,
Tell me a little bit how you did this one. It's a lino print. What is that?
well, it's basically like a linoleum block. I don't actually use the kind of linoleum block that most people might have been introduced to when they were in art class in school, because it's too rigid. So I use a similar material. I think one that Speedball brand makes called Speedy Carve. And it is really easy to carve with just your basic linoleum.
So you carve the shape and then you put the paint on it.
Well, first I put down just the flat level, the flat yellow.
Okay.
And then I inked up my carved block with kind of an orangey red and put it down on top of the yellow.
That's really cool. Now I'm getting excited. I'm like, Desiree, you don't need any more crafts. But that looks really cool.
Yeah.
All right, tell me a little bit about the pollinator.
Well, this was just something that I just started fooling around and carving because I was fed up with trying to make things, having design. So it's like totally unpremeditated. I was just sitting outside on my patio in the backyard facing the garden and just started doing this. And when it was all done and I inked it up and they put it on paper, I thought, oh, that's pretty cool looking. And the more I looked at it, to my mind, I see pollinators. Here is a hummingbird.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, I went, well, who's that little guy? Well, that guy is a bee. And these are the pollen buckets on his back legs. They actually,
hive.
they actually have little structures.
Oh, yeah,
They're
store
called
the honey or
the
store the
pollen.
pollen.
They're called pollen baskets. I looked it up.
Nice.
So I think I was just channeling pollinators
We
that
got the
day.
sun here, and that kind of looks like weed or something growing up.
Maybe. And these are very much southwestern, like Anasazi or Mimbres or Mogollon, southwestern ancient cultures use these kind of what would you call them, spirals or key
Oh, yeah.
shapes. Yeah. So that just kind of came to me.
I like that. It reminds me of something, I don't know what, but it still looks amazing.
Well, I like it when my things remind you of something, but you don't know what. I like there to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely unique, but it's
Mystery.
like, it's kind of harkening back to something, but, and I can see that it's like more than one picture there.
Oh, yeah.
So there's several talking points, right?
Yes.
And then we have the House of
Yeah.
Rain.
And this one is a particular favorite of mine. I pulled it out when I was looking for something else last week. And at first I went, oh, you know, that's so faded. Yeah. And then the more I love it because what it represents to me, what I was thinking when I was making it, I was thinking about when it's raining, a very gentle, light rain, and you're in the house and you can hear it on the terrace or on the roof, and it's just very delicate. So that's why that's a very delicate.
Nice, yeah. All right, so let's go over here. Okay, tree spirit.
Yeah. This is just another shape that came into my mind.
Now it says dry point etching. What does that mean?
Yes. So that means that I have a piece of plexiglass. Traditionally, etching is done on copper or zinc plates, but they're really expensive, and I can do what I want to do at home
Yeah.
on a piece of plexiglass. And so I have a little stylus. It's a sharp metal tool, not expensive. And I scratch, I draw
Right.
all these lines in. And then I ink up the plate. Actually, what you do is you slather for etching, you slather the whole thing until it's totally dark with ink.
Yeah.
And then you wipe it off to the point.
So it just leaves the grooves.
Yes, yes. And so I wiped almost all the ink off here. Not quite as much.
Right.
And
So you've got like shade, it looks like shading here.
Right, right. Yeah. And you know, if I had those materials in front of me, I could explain it in more detail.
Yeah.
But basically, the skill that you are trying to develop is how much pressure you're wiping with. So are you wiping with so much pressure that you're going to wipe the ink right back out of those scratched places?
Mhm.
Or can you do it delicately enough to make it visible? So, yeah.
All right. This one, you and me both.
Yes, that is a cross section of a beet I was cutting in the kitchen. And I thought it was so beautiful, just the design of it. Another interesting organic design. And I thought about painting it in red or gold for golden beads, but I remembered a saying from when I was learning to do Japanese painting, and the saying is, painting the leaves green on a flower is like drawing legs on a snake. You just don't really need it.
Right. I mean, the flowers speaks for
The
itself.
flower speaks for itself. Yeah. So mostly, if you're looking at Japanese paintings of flowers, the flower will have color, but the leaves and the stem will be black. Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting. Is it tumulus?
Tumulus. A tumulus is an artificial mound, and it could be like a mound that has built up over an ancient city where you don't see anything. You'd have to dig in
Right.
to see it. Or I think it can also be used as some people think the fairies live under the hill. It can be that kind of a hill too.
Okay.
And this is just another shape that I saw in my mind's eye. And I wanted to make it, I wanted the effect of it to be very soft, like as if it was dusk, you know, kind of a
Mhm.
mysterious time.
Almost like you can't quite see it.
Right, right. And so it would be kind of hard to explain how I did that, but it's not difficult.
No, I just love this. Oh, goodness. There we go. Dream stairs.
Yeah, that's just a little image that I saw as I was waking up in my mind's eye. A lot of times I'll just see little flashes of pictures. I keep a little journal next to my bed because I'll just see little flashes of images right as I'm waking up, and that was one of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that is a dry point etching too, made the same way as this.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
That's super cool. And it's kind of like got a shadow here, which it
That's
kind of
the
builds a frame there.
Yeah, and that is actually the edge of the plate.
Okay.
And I cut that piece of plexiglass to size to make this, and probably didn't get it sanded entirely smoothly, so it picked up the ink. And that's kind of an interesting thing. It's very sensitive process. So any little abrasion, like I think this part I made by blocking off the rest and using some sandpaper, like a medium grit sandpaper for this, because any amount of abrasion will hold on to ink.
Oh, right, right.
So, yeah.
So you can use you use different shapes to hold the ink a certain way too. Sometimes if you want it to have a deeper impression.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, I mean, like for instance, here where it's much darker versus here, and here where it looks like it's shaded.
Well, I mean, you can do that different ways. So I think I probably used a coarser grit sandpaper here than here.
Right.
And then here, just to give it more visual variation, I cross-hatched the scratched lines because that will also pick up more ink.
Right.
The more scratching, so the more scratches you have going back and forth, the more ink it will hold.
That's just this just kind of gives me the idea, almost like if you were taking a picture and this is like the top of the wall, so it's more like a pony wall versus a full wall. That's kind of the impression it's giving me.
That's cool. I hadn't thought of that.
All right, Dream Lotto.
Yeah, well, these are more of the funny little pictures that come into my head. That's all I can say.
All right.
And Lotto, I think, is some kind of a card game, where you try and match cards with the same images. I think it's a real old game.
Yeah, almost like a memory game.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I can't tell you, but I think, if somebody likes it and they look and they spend some time with it, they might get different ideas. Like say, what if each of these shapes represented a different individual?
Right.
So here's an individual I would suggest who has a buoyant personality.
Mm-hmm.
And here's someone who is more straight-laced or maybe very stable. So I hope that each of these little images suggests different things to whoever's looking at it.
Nice. I like that though. All right. Oh, here we go. They're almost like twins.
Say what?
They're almost like twins, but they say different things.
Yeah, they do. Let's see. This one, I was just experimenting with freeform writing with my inks. And wanted to see what would happen if I was just writing something out. And I think what this says is, if you had the whole piece of paper, before I cut it out, what it says is something from Thich Nhat Hanh. It says, in every moment, we meet at the source in all forms of life.
All right.
In all forms of life, in every moment, we meet at the source.
I just like the colors too.
I do too. I made these. I don't know if it's such a great idea, but I made these on stakes so that you could stick them in a big potted plant. Or something. That was my thought. And this one says, I dream of you. Do you ever dream of me? And I was thinking about that. There's an old Chinese story about, is the man dreaming he's a butterfly, or is the butterfly dreaming he's a man?
Oh.
And I think it's both.
Well, and it very well could be. All right, here's another cool one.
Okay.
Polyglot.
Yeah. Polyglot is somebody who speaks many different languages.
There you go. And there's many different
And
features there. And so you did multicolors in this one.
Well, you could, if you were really patient, do this all with ink. But this was a black and white etching, and I just used watercolor to go back.
Oh, so you went back after?
I went back afterwards and put in the colors.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have another
belly breath.
All right. And then we have Prince note
cards. Yeah. You've already seen, let's see. You've already seen this one.
Right.
I have one framed, the pollinators. And you've already seen this one. And I also have a bunch of butterflies because butterflies are just,
awesome.
they're always good energy.
Yeah,
Can't
they
go wrong.
absolutely are. All right, and then here's
And this one is called Eyes of Memory.
okay.
And the reason for that, there's a story. Do we have time for more
Yeah.
stories? Okay. The story of this is that I was visiting a dear friend of mine whom I've known for probably 50 years. We used to backpack together and have all kinds of adventures, and she's getting old and her memory is not so great. And I went to visit her. She doesn't live here. She lives in New Mexico. I was feeling kind of sad, and I was just having like a sequence of visual memories of all the things that we had done together over the years. And while I was sitting there, I just made a little like 5-inch square sketch, and it was this.
Okay.
And so it's called Eyes of Memory. And then I put in this same character, which is on the God's eye over there, which means basically wake up or pay attention,
Yeah.
as in pay attention to what's going on because it's not coming back.
Yeah.
Value the time you spend
That's really
with
powerful.
your loved ones and your family, your friends, your loved ones, the cashiers at Safeway and
Yeah,
everybody else.
Everybody. That's
Yeah.
right.
Value them.
All right. Now, is this thou shalt?
It is thou shalt. Yes. And again, all I can say is that those words and visually how it's set up just came into my mind one day. And I thought that was good because I need to go ahead with the things that come to me and have confidence in what I do. So
Right.
thou shalt.
Thou shalt.
Thou shalt. And I'll just say, I try to make things in economical ways.
Mhm.
And this is a stencil. And this is cut out from a $1.25 plastic placemat that I got at the dollar store.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I cut it with an X-Acto knife. It was not hard to cut. I inked it up or inked up the backside because
Right.
it would have been backwards if I'd inked up this side. Inked it up, slapped it down. I guess I put some yellow down first. And then I painted this other stuff around it later.
Nice.
So I still have the stencil and I could, I could make another one
Cool.
or a similar one if I wanted.
Your skill is a really cool one, and like now I'm being inspired. And this one is another Eyes of Memory. Now this one,
this
no, this. Oh,
no,
okay.
that goes
Sorry.
This one is called the Mother. And what I started with, I was thinking about making kites of large versions of those Chinese kanji or characters, because a lot of them are really beautiful, the way they're balanced. And this is the kanji for mother in ancient Chinese, maybe in modern Chinese too, I don't know, but I presume it is. Anyway, so I did that in black. And when I was done, I don't know what was happening, but I started feeling really sad and weepy. And and these words came into my mind, weep for the mother. And I think I was thinking of Earth as mother, and I was thinking of all the mothers who are struggling to keep their children alive in war-torn, poverty-stricken, famine areas. And so that's what I did. And I don't usually write out titles, but I just got such a strong message that I should put that there. And this is my thumbprint for my signature.
Nice. This is pretty powerful though.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Then she walked. Hey, I'm gonna come up, please. This is all my and I thoroughly worked that. Thank you.
I'm glad to see you.
You too.
Oh, this little one. This is another monotype where I just, that means I had my plexiglass plate. I just was messing around with some paint and I had some little round piece of plastic that I was pressing into it and some other things. So that is just a kind of an improvised picture, and the name came much later, but I like it.
Heat wave. All right. Okay, we got a couple more kites here.
Okay.
Indivisible.
Yeah. So this one started out. These sheets of paper, this Japanese paper that I use, it's big. It's like 25 inches wide. It's about 2 feet by 3 feet in size. And back last winter, a dear friend of mine died, and I was very sad. And of course, and I just felt I had some things left to say to him. And so I just took my Japanese ink and my brush and I just started writing whatever I was feeling really big on that paper. And that was excellent art therapy. It was good. I did it on probably 3 or 4 sheets of paper. And then later I came back and I just turned it around and added color here and there, added the border, so that it still says something, but not
Right, but
something
not-
that is immediately
Right, you really have to study it to figure out what it does say. Like I can make out the word so, I
Yeah.
can actually make out the word much.
Right. And then I was thinking about what to title it. And I had it hanging in my back room where I could see it from a distance. And that same day, I heard about the new organization called Indivisible. And I looked at it and it just felt like it fit because this looks to me like the efforts of many different peoples and energies all working together towards a common goal. So that's why that's called Indivisible. That's pretty cool.
All right. This one is a really interesting. Now, are these characters or are these just shapes you came up
This
with?
is made of. So really my basic idea was just to take my giant piece of plexiglass, which I have on a counter, it's laying flat,
Mhm.
and just to start painting without any, or just
Etching.
not etching, but just adding color
Okay.
without any premeditation. And so I did the purple and the red circles, and I liked it, and I put it away. And then a year or 2 later, I got it out and I added the yellow background. And while I was doing that, a phrase came into my mind from one of my favorite poets.
The right thing happens to the happy man.
The right thing happens to the happy man, which is from a poem by Theodore Rutke called The Right Thing. And so to me, this is just, I mean, I must have been in a really good balanced mood because it's well balanced.
It
And
is.
it looks stable and cheerful. And it looks like the right thing.
It looks like fun.
It was,
does.
it was really
All right. Speaking of fun,
okay.
solar garden.
This is another one. The nice thing about making prints is that if you don't like the whole thing, you can cut it up and make it into something else.
Yeah.
So this came from just messing with the inks on my piece of plexiglass and then putting the paper down. So this was actually this size.
Oh, so it was bigger.
It was bigger. And I made a couple of other things out, but it had some parts that were interesting when I came back and looked at it. And it had some parts that weren't so interesting. So I cut this out and made the tassels, and I added a little bit of gold watercolor to it.
Nice. All right. We've got some more over here. All right, go for it. Okay, this is called The Dream of My Life.
The Dream of My Life. This is one of my early attempts at writing on the paper. And I did it with these really wonderful watercolor crayons. So you can either get the paper wet and write with a dry crayon, or you can wet your crayon and write on dry paper. And I don't remember what I did now, but this comes from a poem by Mary Oliver.
Okay.
And I think the passage says, it says something like, the dream of my life is to lay down by a slow river and stare at the light in the trees. I think that's what it says. Yeah. So I didn't have to worry about copyright infringement because I didn't use the whole thing.
Right.
I just used dream of my life.
And then the last one, homage.
Homage. So my idea here was to use another Chinese character that I just think is beautiful.
Mhm.
And it is the character that means homage or praise. And I like to admit my boo-boos so that other people will feel okay about making
Yeah.
boo-boos, because the thing I've discovered, and most artists will say the same thing, is you have to look at your boo-boos as opportunities because they turn into something way better than you could have thought of in the first place. So
Right.
my idea was that I was just going to write that Chinese character in black ink
Mhm.
on here. However, I forgot that the paper was still wet. And when
Oh,
I did
no.
it, it turned out looking like a big, soft, fluffy black caterpillar.
All right.
See?
Yeah.
That's my calligraphy line gone bad. So luckily I didn't throw it away, because much later I decided that I could go back and apply some, I guess this is probably copper colored leaf to it. And that's what I did. And, you know, people who are really skilled in applying metallic leaf can do it so neatly and get all the edges to come together and make like flat, beautiful things.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, but for my purposes, this works just fine because I like it rough and I like it textured like
Yeah.
this. So that's my homage.
Nice. Very, very nice. Let's just do a quick walk around so people can get one last view.
There's one more.
There is, oh, did we miss one?
That one.
Oh, no, we did. We missed it.
Loose weave.
Loose weave, and it kind of speaks for itself.
Yep. The blue lines are etched lines. And then later I went back and I cut some little strips of acetate, like if you went to the dollar store and got a folder for your kids' project, you know, the clear plastic, thin clear plastic.
Oh, yeah.
I just cut it and applied ink to it and put it through the press again to put the pink and the yellow lines.
Nice. That's really cool.
And that's it.
All right, so we're going to do a quick walk around, and you're going to follow me and tell everybody about your weekends.
Say what?
Tell us about your weekends again.
My weekend?
Yes, you're every Saturday.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I would like everybody to know that I will be here on the next 3 Saturdays through September from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'd love to have you come visit, look at my work, keep me company, and I will have a display of basic tools and materials that I use to make these things in my little spare bedroom art studio at home. And I can explain quite a bit about how I make things when I have those tools and materials in front of me. So please come join me.
So you can see the artist at work.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing a demonstration. I didn't want to get into messy inks or anything, but I will have I will have show and tell.
Nice. All right, so if you need to know where to go, you just come here to Miriam's Place at 1519 East Boulder Street, right across from Memorial Hospital. We are usually open Monday through Friday. If you can't come on the weekends, you can come during business hours. And these pictures will be, and kites will be on display here until the end of the month. So you've got all the rest of September to join us. All right. There's still time we've got food and libations here for your enjoyment. So don't forget to come by and sit and talk with the artist. Do you have any last words, Leslie?
Oh, I don't think so. If you listen to this whole spiel, thank you for your patience. And you can probably tell that I love this. This is an ongoing adventure. The more I do, the more I see to do, and the more ways I see to do it. So, yes.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for sharing
you.
your work with us this month, Leslie. Hopefully we'll see you again real soon in the future. Thank
Yes.
you.